every day, right? No, I'm gonna read the number out for you.
Oh, okay. I see some people are still struggling to get that number.
Every day, right? No.
Okay. So who walked out of this Zoom last Saturday feeling somehow, like feeling I missed out on something, there's something missing. Can I start from the beginning? Where can I start? Who did? Okay. I see Joella. Who else? I see Miss Yukemi. So Miss Yukemi, do you want to share your thought while leaving this Zoom the last time we had book club?
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
With the last book club, it emphasized like the questions that we are not asking the right questions to our CPAs, and also some people want the quickest tax return and also the cheapest, and the difference between tax planning and tax preparation. So being able to identify both, you cannot go for just tax preparation and think that's going to be your tax planning. So you have to make a strategic, mindset on what it is, and asking the right questions to your CPA. And I'm still really looking forward to see what more information we're going to find in this book, and the CPAs that were present that were also sharing their experiences. I think that was very helpful. I'm looking forward to more today.
Awesome. Personally, I learned so much that I added to my knowledge base. That was amazing. Joella.
Yes, Dr. Ruth. Yeah, I think last Saturday was very insightful. In fact, I had not bought the book, so I literally just ordered it and it came like the following day. And I felt a little bit of anger, holy anger, I should say. And those are your words. I remember one time I talked about holy anger. So I was like, wow. It's like when you like, oh my God, how can I not know about this? And how much time do I need to get up to speed? And how much time do I have to be able to help my community? So it's like this, that time, like I don't have 1 second to waste right now. And in a way, it also encouraged me in what I'm doing not to give up, because I also realize that sometimes when people don't listen to what I'm trying to do to tell them to help them, it's because they don't understand. So as much as I can, I always push for books. Like, okay, you don't want to listen to me? Get this book. So I'm really excited to delve into this, and thank you again for what you're doing in our community.
Thank you. Com. KOM. Forlan. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, can I speak?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Reed. Yes, last Saturday, it was very powerful for me. Like, I just learned last Saturday that with a 1099, we can just do so much. We have a lot we can do with our 1099. But the thing is that most of us, we miss that. Like, personally, myself, like I have those 1099, but really I don't have that tax preparation in my mind. And at the same time, sometimes I even like underlook my 1099 just because maybe I feel like, okay, maybe it's not enough money, it's just a determining for a business. But we learned last time that it's very important to have, even if it is a little business, very important for our tax advantage. And also, when everybody's ready, I'm going to ask the last question that I asked last Saturday. Thank you so much for this platform.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Yes, last Saturday we end up with this question. It was about like most of the time with our 1099 and with our businesses, how can we what is the minimum age of your child when you want to consider that child as you are into your 1099 as an employer? And what is the minimum age? And not just that, how do you structure your taxes in order to benefit for that advantage?
So that's a good question, but it comes with a lot of baggages with it, okay? That we may not be able to break here, but just to let you know, one, I'll ask you to go and research your state. I know that when my current president, Donald Trump, came to office the second time, in the office the first time, he removed the age restriction. However, some states still have age restriction. Okay? So you want to go back and review with your state law. Then the second part is you have to sit down with your tax planner and your CPA. But when you're sitting down, don't sit down like you're a stranger. Sit down with someone that have absolute control that comes with knowledge. Because what we're seeing among the middle class, they come, this is your money, but you're acting as if there is someone that is coming to provide you a service is in charge of you. Okay? And that's why we're reading the books to give you absolute control, the knowledge base you need. Go to IRS. All of us have access to IRS. There is no internal revenue code you cannot find on that page. You can go to that page and ask questions as long as .gov. Okay, is a verified site, .gov, US or Canada. Okay, so go there, sit down with your tax planner, your CPA, and tell them this is what you want. Can you provide me with the laws that says this and that and that? Because some of them may say you can do this one, you can't do this one. Again, they are looking at something you're not looking. That's why both of you have to be in alignment. Okay, but don't come in alignment with intimidation, lack of knowledge. That's the essence of the book. Okay.
That's great. That's correct.
All right. Thank you. Fola.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. I
morning.
joined this book club recently. What I did last week when we started, I had my book. I bought it ahead of time. So from the last one. So okay, what I gained last week was when you want to plan your tax. One of the attorney and also CPA, I think it's Muritala or something. So he said, don't just go to CPA, just anybody. Go get IRA enrolled CPA and then do your tax planning. Don't just file. Just take your tax. You got to take your tax, but do tax planning. And he gave an example of somebody that, I mean, you could be here, married, but here alone, where your spouse is abroad, that you can file as married, that your CPA, if you get somebody like, I mean, if you get an IRA enrolled CPA, can get you your RT, and then you'll be able to file married. All the money you are leaving on the table, you'll be able to get back to you and your family. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was an eye-opener. True. Because most of the people that have spouses overseas, for one thing or the other, they're here filing single because either somebody haven't told them or, again, the lack of knowledge. So I'm happy with paid attention. Welcome back. I hope everybody is in now. All right. So that being said, who wants to read? We are starting from page 13. If you are joining us for the first time or you're new, we're reading the book, What Your CPA Isn't Telling You. Okay, that's what we're reading. This is a social club. We're not representing any organization. We're not representing anybody. If you're here, you're representing yourself, your family, your voice. That's what you're representing. We're just reading book. Everything we share here is for educational purposes only. If you want anything additional, go to your CPA, accountant, financial advisor, financial professional, whoever that gave you this Zoom link. If you have additional question or have confusion or any of those, go to them. They know how to reach out to the right people to answer your questions. Okay? And my number will be in the chat. My number is 469-487-3469. I'm a licensed financial professional, risk management expert, so I have the competency to facilitate this book club because that is way to give back to my community. So all we do here is to read and share knowledge, nothing more, nothing less. Okay? So I appreciate each and every one of you for coming here to read every other Saturday. We don't take it for granted because as many of us that are here to read, it means that so many people that are being saved and delivered from the community. And by the time you have that knowledge, all of us now know that you can file married, filing jointly, even though your spouse is overseas. Now you know that. Guess what? You know how many people that have known that through me? It's a lot. That's the power of being informed and have the understanding. All right. Joala, I see your hand up.
Yeah, I'm volunteering to read.
I can't see your face. That's the problem.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna turn on my camera.
Anyway, but go
Yeah.
ahead. Page 13.
Okay. And almost like a climax in a movie, he looked us in the eyes, and as he peered into my soul, he said, "Why not truly live the American dream? See, just having a small business on the side can open up so many opportunities and even benefits beyond tax planning." He pulled out a yellow pad of paper and started frantically writing down the list of ideas he just rattled off. So we have a figure 1.1 here, like benefits of owning a small business: having an additional source of income, something to fall back on if necessary, building retirement income and or equity, teaching children of any age to work, doing something you love, being your own boss, controlling your destiny with unlimited potential, and saving taxes.
So if you're here, you don't have a business, small business. Guys, do you all know you don't need a lot of money to start a business? Okay? You don't need a lot of money to start business. You just need what? You just need the right people at the right time, at the right place to mentor you and coach you. And there's a popular saying that goes, the shortest way to become a millionaire is to be mentored by a millionaire. You cannot want to be a millionaire, you're mentoring with someone who's doing 2-3 jobs. They have never been a millionaire. They don't know what it takes to be a millionaire. So hanging out with them and trying to ask them questions and get an opinion about small business is not going to get you there. You can only get to where they are, okay, and comfortable, and you're going to hear language like, I'm comfortable, I'm okay. I don't like to be greedy. I don't want too much money. That is fallacy. If you're comfortable, you don't want too much money, why are you still going to clock in tomorrow? Should have been fine today without going again tomorrow. So those are the lies among the middle class that keeps us down. So he says, start small business. If you're going to save in taxes, guys, you're going to start small business. And anybody can start a business. Go ahead.
Dr. Ruth, can I say something really quick?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so about 33 people are listening through my phone from the other Zoom. Can you send somebody that is a tech server? Because we posted the link and we put the numbers there, but we still have 33 people.
So who is the host over there?
No, but I'm not the host.
I'm surprised because as long as this Zoom is on, then
Okay.
that Zoom is not supposed to be on.
I know, it's there.
Oh, sorry, I can't help them on that.
Okay.
I have sent them the link, actually. I sent them the current link.
The current link is not, for some reason, it wouldn't work on my computer. It was telling me that I have to get permission. Permission is required to fill this meeting. Please contact the meeting chat owner. So, but on my cell phone, I was surprised it worked. But on my computer, maybe these people are having
So
the
you're
same
clicking,
problem.
probably you're clicking the AI companion instead of the Zoom itself. So you know what?
Okay.
Don't click on the
First,
AI companion.
Excuse
click
me.
on the first one.
Excuse me, Dr. Ruth.
Mm-hmm.
I was on that Zoom link before, and they gave the number, your number, the Zoom number, and the password. If they go to their computer or to the phone and click Zoom, join Zoom, and they will ask them the Zoom ID, they put their number, and they will ask them the password. They put that 2026. They will come into this link.
I know. I think they are clicking on the AI. So let me remove the AI thing.
AI, don't click on the AI
Yeah, they are
component.
Don't
clicking on
click
the,
on the AI. You guys hear that, okay?
Okay.
yeah, they are
Yeah.
clicking on the AI. That was why.
And
Okay.
they
If,
have to log out completely from the old one to be able to
Yeah.
get into the new.
yes.
Okay.
So try it again. I've removed the AI. So they don't make mistake clicking on the AI.
Okay. You guys try it again. Don't click on the AI. Click on the main Zoom that says join Zoom meeting.
I
And you have
posted
to
it.
get out of this one before you can join the other one. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Let me try.
Okay. Sorry about that. Okay. So don't click on the AI. Just click on the normal Zoom. I don't know what they have to put in there, and I copied it. Where is my IT folks?
No.
So, Dr. Ruth, I've actually posted the link without the AI on the group me. If they can click on that one, it should help now.
No, some people just turn it on and they walk out. Maybe they're sleeping halfway, and they may not be getting the information that you posted. So that could be a problem too. So we hope they will. I promise. I pray it won't happen again. That is my prayer. Okay. All right. Go ahead, my sister. I was reading.
Again, I'm not saying quit your job if you love it, but at least consider the possibility of turning your hobby or passion into a business and creating income and wealth in the process, legitimately. The stillness in the room was tangible. He looked at us as we soaked it all in. We just sat there pondering. I feel like I have just gotten blindsided with a mental left hook I didn't see coming. I needed to digest this. I could see my wife was reeling too and gazing at nothing in particular, not frustrated or confused, but just pondering the ideas. Own a small business? This is totally not our style. It's too risky. This is something my hair-braided brother or sister-in-law would do. But what kind of business would we start? It didn't make sense. I love my corporate job. Well, maybe not love it, but that's what I went to school for. Not to mention for a long time. I can't give up on that. Before the silence got awkward, he piped in. Just a thought. Hear me out. I'm not talking about opening up a donut shop down the street or embarking on an invention that you have to patent or get manufactured and shipped in from China. I'm talking about maybe just a little rental property, maybe a product or idea that you could simply sell on eBay, maybe a service in the community like mowing lawns with your kids or recycling projects. Think of something you love to do, and let's think of a business model to fit it.
I agree with you. I saw some little kids that came through my house yesterday, and they said, "Oh, we're here. Do you want to wash your dust bin? You know the dust bin that we put aside? Do you want to wash it?" And in
Oh,
my mind, I was like, someone is actually thinking. That is a business. Imagine everybody in
wow.
America have a dustbin. And their job is to do what? To wash it.
Oh,
Imagine they wash for my neighborhood alone. How much that would be? But someone else's child is sitting down in front of the computer, pressing the game. So that is true. Any idea can work. Thank God now we are in America and Canada where you have access to provide financial services. You don't need to be a CPA accountant, financial advisor to provide financial services. You need to get a license. I have a license, guys. And the license you can sit down 2 days, 1 day to get it. As long as you're willing to discipline yourself. As long as you're willing to not be lazy, guys. As long as you're willing not to have a soft skin, you gotta be tough, guys. Gotta be tough. It is tough out there. Nothing comes to you. There is no thing that comes in a platter of gold. If you're looking for something that will just fall into your hand, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, they call it small business. But guys, it is not really a small business. Why? As an employee, somebody is thinking for you. You don't have a thinking mind. All you do is to live off of what do you call it? Alarm. You wake up, you go to work. You don't know who is taking, who is gonna starve today. You don't know who is thinking how many risks do we need to put in place. What is the safety? What is the fire hazard? You don't know that. All you know is to go to bed. You wake up an alarm, you dress up, you go to that work, you come back. But you don't know all that go behind it. But when you start a small business, which is good, is where you begin to learn. You take over everything. You begin to learn, how do I staff my business? How do I fund my business? How do I compete? Because we're in the world of competition, you have to compete. Why would people choose me over others? Why will people come to my service over others? How am I going to brand myself? What kind of marketing tools am I going to use? Somebody else is thinking that for you as an employee. That's why they can pay you well, because you're just a number. You don't bring anything to the table. You're just a number. But when you own a business, now you see your brain will begin to think. That's why I love the author that said, start a business. Because when you start a business, you wake up your dormant brain. Most of the employees, their brain doesn't think. And it's intentional. The system is designed that way to do what? To put your brain in that situation that you don't think. Nothing else go through your mind. And that is when emergency happens, guess what? Your eyes open. Oh my goodness, how did I get here? By then it's too late. So start something not just to save on taxes. Start something to wake up your dormant brain. There's part of your brain that is not working right now. It doesn't matter what your age is. Okay? And so you can help your children too. Go ahead.
He couldn't stop throwing out ideas. His energy was infectious. As you're soaking this in, think of that rental property idea I just threw out there. What about buying a property here locally that you can fix up as a family? Maybe you get something farther away that could work as a rental in the hometown of your parents where you visit. You can then work on the property on vacations when you have to see family anyway. He looked at me and added, just think of getting a tax write-off every time you visit your mother-in-law. Now he went too far. He could really make me visit with my wife's family more. He could really make my visit with my wife's family more enjoyable. My wife rolled her eyes, knowing exactly what I was thinking. I smiled. Once more, he let the moment sink in. He slid back from his desk and just smiled with excitement, like he had just laid out an assortment of candy for some kids, and we were supposed to be excited to choose several pieces. However, we just sat there. Oh, Dr. Lube, is something? Oh,
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
okay. However, we just sat there looking down and nodding our heads. We weren't beat up or frustrated just thinking. We had asked for some ideas and we certainly got some, but this may have been too much. I didn't want to change my lifestyle or habits. I just wanted to save on taxes. All of a sudden, I started to feel like a candidate for the biggest loser. Can I lose weight by just taking a pill? Can't I save on taxes by just checking a box or something? I didn't know what to think. The one thing I was most surprised about was how this tax savings thing could impact so many other areas of my life. Teaching my kids, building wealth, living the American dream. It sounded too good to be true again. I was already starting to have more doubt about this concept. Maybe the greatest doubt I was having now was if I had the time to make it work. The man then said in a very understanding and empathetic tone, something again uncharacteristic of our other CPA. Let me give you some homework. Please go home and think about this conversation. Consider some entrepreneurial ideas. See if you could envision yourself owning at least some investment, real estate, or starting a small service or product-based business. Basically, doing something different than you are now. Please do that for me. Obviously, you can't expect a different result without making some changes in your life. I'm sorry, I don't have a magic wand. Then, as if we were high-fiving after a Monday night of football game, he said, if you feel like I can be your guy for tax planning, please call my assistant and set up a retainer and a planning appointment. She'll give you a list of things to bring in, or we can simply start talking about your ideas and plans for this year and many more to come. Was it really going to be that soft of a sale? Then my wife blurted out without any warning, at least to me, well, what type of stuff would be a write-off if we started a small business? Then she started rattling off items that she just bought at Staples and Home Depot. Like, like a protective father, he simply smiled and said, slow down, Tiger. We'll talk about that in our next appointment. She was visibly frustrated with his answer, but then we looked at each other and quickly realized we had a lot to talk and think about. His final words were poignant. As I look back at that meeting, it truly gave me the basic guidance I needed for many months to come. This isn't all about small business. I have other strategies or concepts that will literally change my financial picture and save on taxes at the same time. But having a small business and or rental property is a significant part of the equation. Continuing, he emphasized with emotion, please be patient and give this first concept a chance. All the rest will come together like a beautiful woven tapestry over time. Remember, your stitching may look a little different than that of your family and friends. Everyone's plans are a little different and come together on different timetables. Let's dive into yours and help you start living your dream.
Everyone's plan will be a little bit different. But guess what? Everybody pay taxes. Benjamin Franklin said, and I quote, there are only two things guaranteed in life. What is that?
Taxes and death.
Taxes and death. You must pay your tax. But also, one of my mentors will always say, you have the right to use the most tax-efficient method to grow your money, including paying zero in taxes. Choose your bucket and choose it right. So, sister, what's the summary?
Yeah. The secret to tax planning. And that's a summary. Having a small business or real estate investment of some sort has to be a major consideration if we want to save on taxes. This is the secret that corporate America completely disregards and marginalizes. Moreover, tax planning can be exciting and actually enjoyable. It doesn't have to be miserable. However, we have to realize that saving on taxes requires a significant mental shift. Some say it's too risky to have a small business and more than likely a waste of time. I completely disagree and argue that it is actually more risky not to have a small business. Certainly, there can be risk, but it can be mitigated. The benefits are truly phenomenal. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean quitting your job or firing your stockbroker. It just means have at least something on the side and trying to live outside of the box to some degree. Don't just work solely for the man.
Are you working for the man? Are you working for yourself? I hope somebody that understands that language knows what to do with that. Are you working for the man? Are you working for yourself? That's a good one right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Those who really want to save on taxes have some financial security to fall back on and work towards their own retirement plan, just to name a few goals. Must consider small business ownership as a rental real estate. Finally, it doesn't mean taking risk. I believe you are actually reducing your risk if you approach small businesses. No, if you approach small business in the right way. Why not have a project brewing on the side or build equity in something to help supplement your retirement plan? Don't give up on this concept. Be open to it. You're creating options. We need options. This is truly where real tax planning and the American dream begin. Period.
Oh, wow. So did you all hear that? This is where it begins. So if you're here, you have a small business. Can you put 1 in the chat? If you don't have a small business, can you put 2 in the chat? Okay. If you have a small business, put 1. If you don't have 1, put 2. Okay. So here's the thing. The author have said it. Have a small business. But what kind of small business can you get? How can you structure it in such a way that it will actually help you pay your taxes the normal way? You don't have to overpay in taxes. And you don't have to pay taxes twice. One of the products that I helped people to use to reduce their taxes legally is making sure they have protection portfolio. Okay? And which only comes from life insurance. Okay? And when I was speaking with one business owner last night, she said, I've been trying to talk to my people, they don't listen to me. Now I get it. Now I understand it. But I can't go back. Okay? But it ends this year. Going forward, we're going to make it work. It has to work according to the rules. Guys, according to the rules. So, as a licensed financial professional, I will always recommend to people to start a small business in the financial industry. That may be a biased statement because that's where I am, right? But that is fine because that's the only industry you can start a business with the smallest thing, less than the red bottom shoe that is in your house, less than the all-one-bay cloth you're going to wear today, this night. Okay? If you package it together, it's going to be less than that. Okay? Less than the money you're going to spray up on the air tonight, because I know most of you here are going to go to that one day tonight.
Dr.
Okay?
Ruth, you're echoing.
I'm echoing. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Not really.
No, I don't think so.
It might be on your side.
No, she's not. It's from your end.
No, she's not.
Okay.
She was echoing.
Am I still echoing?
No.
No,
All
it's
right.
it's better now. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. All right. Less than the shoe, less than those bags. Just close your eyes and look at those bags sitting on top of your closet right now. Do the math, do the calculation, how much each of those bags costs. You know, I was watching something yesterday. The man says some people wants to drive Range Rover to look as if they are rich, but we want to own the company that produces Range Rover. Man, that hit my brain like crazy. Some people are driving Range Rover, just they make $1, they go buy Range Rover, they go buy something new, just to act as if they have arrived. That is not business expense. It's not business expense. Their money, only for someone else is just looking for a way to do what? To own the company that produced Louis Vuitton, to own the company that produced Range Rover, to own the company. Man, that hit me hard. I'm going to tell you that. That hit me real hard. Okay? Why shouldn't I be the one owning? If you all remember the book we just read, Becoming Your Own Banker, why shouldn't I be the one owning? Why should I just be consuming? And I was speaking with somebody again yesterday. I reminded them of the book we read, the Rockefellers. What would the Rockefellers do? In that book, it mentioned 4 expenses, right? Destructive expenses, consultative expenses, protective expenses, and productive expenses. And I let the person know, listen, when it comes to productive expenses, you don't need to blink your eye. For you to start a small business, the money you spend starting your small business is classified under productive expenses. The money you pay for your life insurance protection, for your health insurance, disability insurance, liability insurance falls under protective expenses. Now, the money you used to go and buy that Louis Vuitton bag, anytime it leaves your hand, is the money that's not working for you, but is working for someone else. The television you buy, the new house you buy, the renovation, the new shoe, the new clothes, it doesn't mean you don't have to use them. The money you pay to go on vacation, it does not mean you don't have to use them, get me right. But the author says what? He said, use cash. Anything that is consumption. He said for you to do what? Use cash, which was your ATM, not your credit card. You cannot borrow money to consume. You cannot borrow money to consume. So you can borrow money to start your small business. It's production. You're going to replace it. But borrowing money to buy a new television, to go on vacation in Dubai, that you know you don't have money to do, borrowing money to buy something that's consumption is not adding to your business. The author of What Would the Rockefellers Do say, hell no, don't do that. Make sure you use cash. If you don't have cash, don't do it. It means that you don't have it. Then the last one was destructive. Destructive is what? Your bill is due today. You didn't pay it tomorrow now. Today is supposed to be $100. Now tomorrow is 150. He say eliminate that completely. Playing gambling in those places, right? Say don't gamble. Those are all destructive expenses. So when you're doing your expenses, compare, put them on the table. I see that a lot of people, a lot of us spend so much time on the consumption and destructive. And we try to use credit card. Someone is doing 50th birthday and all they are scratching is their credit card. What value does that bring to you? Do we say don't do birthday? No, you have to enjoy yourself now because when you're old, you don't have any time for enjoy. But then don't borrow money to do a birthday party. Don't borrow money to do graduation party that you already owe 150,000 in school loan. And you're borrowing another 60,000 to go do graduation party. Meanwhile, they gave you just a piece of certificate. And if you know a Congress person here, there's something I say. There's a theory I'm pushing now. This is Dr. Ruth Ignited. my theory is every school have within 1 year to make sure that every graduating student have what? Have a job, or else they refund the school fees. Because they cannot be taking this money every year. Students are coming out and they're not getting a good job.
Exactly.
Okay? So they have to either provide a job within 1 year or do what? Refund the money. And we use it and pay back the school loan we owe. Because it doesn't make sense. And this is applicable anywhere in the world, not just US. Okay? Dr. Tega, I see your hand is up.
Yes, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dr. Ruth. Thank you for this beautiful, amazing platform. You mentioned that protection comes from insurance portfolio.
Mr. Joy sent it to me.
Hello.
Go
You
ahead.
mentioned that insurance comes from, protection comes from insurance portfolio. I just wanted to add to that. April 7th was my birthday, and instead of just celebrating, I embarked on just preaching financial literacy. And of course, April is financial literacy month. I came across one guy and was talking to the person. And this point you just said now came up. He said, and then I asked the person the question that what is wrong with insurance being a financial portfolio?
Hello.
And I gave the example of Paul S. Atkins. This guy that was so resistant, talking back at me, he was so silent. Read through Paul Atkins. I don't know if a lot of you know who Paul Atkins was. And this guy walked away, giving me an appointment for today. Because he now saw Paul Atkins, who is the current secretary for the Treasury Department, appointed by Donald Trump last year, April month, is a living example of whose asset was declared as using the cash value of life insurance. That was the only thing that kept this guy quiet, got him listening. And yes, Dr. Ruth, thank you for this message, because it has made common people like me have points to be spreading this message to everyone who previously would not even consider insurance as a topic to talk about. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. So let's go to chapter 2. All right. Let's go to chapter 2, a new perspective. Who wants to read? Someone else.
I'll read, Dr. Ruth.
All right. Go ahead, you, Kemi. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from the beautiful state of North Carolina.
Okay.
All right. The Temptation, page 21. My wife and I didn't talk as much as I thought we would after the mysterious meeting with the new CPA. As we now refer to him, he wasn't ours yet, just the new one. The next few days seemed to fly by as usual. We were back to our normal routine. You know how things go. You just get busy. Married couples don't talk as much as single people do. Well, maybe they already know that. The reality was that we didn't talk much because we really didn't know what to talk about. It quickly became apparent, and it was a lot easier to talk about starting a business than actually doing it. It was embarrassing to some degree. My wife and I were able.
Hold on. There's something he said that helps somebody take note. It's easily to do what is easy. Okay. It was a lot easier to talk about starting a business than actually doing it. Guys, there are a lot of business proposals that are sitting on the shelf right now, because some people are looking for it in a very perfect, organized manner. Guys, no matter the amount of proposal that if you like, write it from January to December, be the best speaker, speak eloquently, do everything. If you don't put it to work, it's a waste of time. Guys, let's learn to take action. Doing it. Be a doer. Tell yourself, I must do. Talk is cheap. You not know that talk is cheap. It's easy to talk. Anybody can talk. It's the doing, the action that makes the difference. So as you're reading, For most of you that put 2 in the chat, that you don't have a small business, as you're living here, it's easy to say, I want to. But the question is, who's going to do? Do something. Go to the person that gave you this Zoom link and said, I know you know how to start a small business. Show me, I want to start today. Some people say, let me think. What are you thinking? The book, I've written it. The live people are talking about it. So what are you waiting for? It's easier to talk than to do. We're looking for doers. If you don't have a business and you're Discord, you say, I'm going to be a doer from today. Put it in the chat. Doer, put it in the chat. Do something. And I bet you will never regret it. You remember this particular
excuse me? Yes, ma'am. I need always soap.
Okay.
I'll be right with you.
All right, go ahead, Fola.
Yeah, hi. It's so nice to be here, and I'm enjoying the topic. But I have a question, right? The aspect of doing a business. What if you don't have the skills for business? Maybe you have skills for other stuff to do that can generate money, but not the buying and selling. Or should everybody focus on buying and selling?
That's a very good question, Fola. There are only few ways to do business. You can either provide a product or service. It doesn't matter whatever you call it. You can either provide what? Product or what? Service. Whichever one, investment is something, right? It falls under one of these. So we don't tell you what to do, but what we're trying to let you know that if you don't even understand the financial system of the country where you are, you still can be doing business and you're stuck because you don't have the foundation. Did you get it, right? So choose yourself a niche you want to be comfortable with. Okay? Choose yourself a niche, but if you don't have basic financial knowledge, I'm going to tell you, you might still make money in business and still pay too much in taxes. Go and find me, do I have physicians on this call? Those are the people the community assume they pay them so well. But guess what? Majority of them lose them in taxes because they have no time to learn the finance itself. So they relinquish their financial obligation to someone else. And whatever the person tells them, that's what they do. And that is why it's hard for them to retire, because by the time it's retirement time, it's too late. So 80-year-old is working. Why? If they stop working, they compromise their financial standard. Okay? So whichever business you start, having the financial knowledge, that's what Robert Kiyosaki or Warren Buffett said, money without financial education is money soon gone. You can make 100 million. If you lack financial education, you can lose it the next day. Okay? So choose whatever service that fits you. But the knowledge of the idea of learning about finance is not a choice. It's something you have to invest in very well. If not, so you can make money in that business and you lose it. Dr. Wilson.
Very much, Dr. Ruth, for this. I fully agree with you. You don't have to figure out everything to be able to start a business, yeah? Because you start and then you learn as you go. Because if you wait to figure out everything, that time will never come because things are changing. So if you have a passion on something, if you have an idea, it starts with an idea. It's not even about the money. It's not about so many things. And you can get help along the way if you start something. But if you have not started, it's very difficult for anybody to be able to help you because they cannot figure out what is in your head or what you are thinking about. That's what I want to say, because I did this many years ago when I was back in my home country, and we started an academy with my wife. And we didn't have much, we didn't know much, but we were able to, and we have done it for 20 years. So I just wanted to give an encouragement. Don't wait until you figure out. That time will never come. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. And the truth is that the easiest way, some people say, I want to know everything before I come. No, you have to take the first step. There are people that have taken the first step, they're on the 5th step. So they have the capacity to mentor you and coach you how to take the first step. And by the time you're coming, they too are coming. They will fail before you, they will encounter challenges, and they will say, hey, here, right here, Fola, These are the things we figured out on the way. When you get here, do it this way. The thing is that most people want to be solo. They don't want to learn from others. That's why the business of the 21st century, according to Robert Kiyosaki's what? Network. Network is a system of business that you don't need to scratch anything from the big. Everything is done for you. Your job is to do what? Come and learn how to build a business. Come and learn how to start up on existing somebody's idea, if that idea is in alignment with your spirit. But how will you even know whether it's in alignment with your spirit when you have not even tried? When you have not tried at all. That's why a lot of people want to start it from the ground, and they go and borrow 20,000, 40,000, 100,000, and in front of them, the money disappeared. What if you can use less than $1,000 to plug into an existing business and learn from there, raise capital, then go do that thing that you love so much? So you don't need to be perfect in your skills. You must learn to fail. Some people don't want to fail, but here to own a business, you must learn to fail. But why will you fail on something that another person knows how to do it? You can learn from them so you don't fail. Rather, you learn from their own mistakes. Okay? You learn from their own mistakes so you can do better. That's why our children should do better than us. But how are they going to do better if we don't expose them to what we need to expose them? All of us we are very much aware that academics is not the ticket to being rich. Yes, it's a ticket to be a number as an employee, but you can stand on that existing employee. Can you mute yourself? You can start on that existing employee to build what? A business. Then with time, you take the skills you learn in your employee level and roll it over to business level and maintain the same discipline. Okay? Yes, Miss Pat.
Yeah, Dr. Ruth.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but because I'm going through it, I'm paying dearly for it because they say open LLC, oh, you're gonna do, but I did not have a clue. Open an LLC, I'm matching it with what I'm doing. Then even my tax preparer, he helped me open one. Then at the end, I said, what do I need to do? He said, oh, using it when I want to file a tax. I said, how do we file it? He said, oh, you don't need to file it. You are not really doing anything with your LLC or incorporation. Okay. Then 2 years later, because the opening corporation for me, somebody said, oh, LLC is better. I don't really know what I'm doing because I didn't read about it, but I was just open account with the registration and just using it for banking and the whatever it is. So she filed it for me. I said, I want to close it. That's when I found out what problem I am. So when I want to close it, they told me, oh, you haven't filed for 2 years. There's a penalty. I said, well, I didn't make money with it. There's a penalty I have to pay. So I'm telling the man, the tax preparer, I said, oh, I didn't know. So I got myself into problem. And right now, the two of them, then I started the LLC. I was taking the same thing. I was filing it with my taxes. Then when I called them to inquire, about the status of the LLC, they told me, oh, your LLC, you are not filing. I said, I'm filing it with my tax. They said, no, it's an incorporation. You're supposed to file it alone. I said, oh, Jesus Christ, I'm in trouble. So that one earned me the penalty of 2,000 something that I have to pay. So there's a company that said, okay, they will help me manage it, they help me open account and everything. I just called them yesterday because they opened the account, they told me what to do and a trust and land trust because I have a real estate business. So I called them yesterday. I said, you opened the account, you told me this, but I don't see the connection. The connection is not there. What am I doing? He said, oh, you are not finished structuring your business, so you are not really doing anything with it. I said, then how are you helping me then? You did not tell me I haven't finished. But in my mind, I think I've finished structuring the business. But I called you and I asked you a question. You told me I have not finished structuring the business. So I said that I'm losing money instead of getting money from it because I don't know what I'm doing. I know by reading all these things, I've opened my eyes and tried to ask the right question and try to read on my own to understand how the business work, how to connect one dot to the other. Because if you don't really have a mentor that take your hand and understand what they are doing, the task person and everybody, you get screwed.
I agree. So, Miss Pat, thank you. I'm happy that you're able to come to class like this and to read for yourself. I tell everyone a little bit knowledge of how the system works is important. And that's what we all missed out. And when I started learning about how the system works, I said, sure, we've been screwed. So that's how the book club came to be. So, Miss Pat, yes, you're paying the price of ignorance, not just for you, all of us. Okay? But our goal is to make it right going forward. And I always tell people, before you even register any business, some people call me, which business will I register? I say, that's not my job. Before you register, at least go to smallbusinessadministration.gov. Again, I'll always refer you back to the government site. At least read types of business structure, the pros and the cons, start from there. So that when you're in front of somebody, when you're consulting with somebody, guess what? You have some basic knowledge so you can ask the right questions. Okay? So, Miss Pat, yes, I think your case is complex, but I will say get as much knowledge as you can. Let's talk offline. I will show you some other things you can read according to your own state. Then when you now go back to them, you ask them these questions. If it means for you to pay whatever you need to pay, again, recommendation, we don't advise anybody here, and get it, fix it and get it right. But you're not alone. Majority of people, like the book says, started a small business. Majority of the people started with no knowledge. And that's what we're trying to uncover and fix. At least you're still alive to fix it. Okay? So I'm happy you're here. Well, there's so much you're going to do. But the question, are you willing to engage? The thing is that we don't have enough time. We only
No,
have 24 hours a day.
Are you in New York?
No,
you in
I'm
New
not in
York?
New York. They cut me off. Oh. My flight cut me off. So I'm sitting right here in the Dallas, Texas. Okay?
Okay.
But I hope you guys are in that hall, okay?
I was on my way there.
Okay.
I don't know fly. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Dr. Ike.
Yes, good morning, Princess Dr. Ruth. Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. Here's the thing. We need to first start with ourselves. One of my teachers in school told me, or told us in class, do you know that in class here we do the easy thing? Now the hard thing is you going back to now go and do the hard stuff. That's what we all need to do. First, we need to start with mindset change. Most of us are still here doing the things we've done over and over and expecting a different result. No. If you keep doing what you are doing, you will keep getting what you are getting. So first of all, we need to start with ourselves. We have to change our mindset. Ask yourself the question, who really am I? What do I want out of this life? That's where you begin. You start changing yourself. Some of my mates will tell me, oh, I'm too old now. I don't read anymore. Really? This is when you start reading. We are lucky to be alive. This is the best time to be alive. I don't care how old you are. You must get one thing right, clarity. You have to be very clear about what you want out of life. Do you just want to live to be 100 and at the end of it, that's it? You die the next day, nobody even remembered you once lived. If you have clarity, now you can define exactly what you want out of life. Once you do this, it becomes easier. But when you earn $1 million a year and you leave everything for somebody to do for you, I can tell you this from experience, you will end up broke. You will end up broke. And the other thing is, time is the most precious commodity we have. Time is finite. It's not infinite. For us, if you live to be 100 years or 120, 110, that time is still going to come. Now you are vibrant, you are healthy, you are energetic. A time will come you can't even lift one hand. What are you going to do? So the question now is to go do serious introspection. Understand exactly who you are. If you do that, that is the foundation. You start from there and you start building one block at a time. So please, my people, we have to start working on ourselves. Let us get it right. You get yourself right, you get yourself in the right direction. Now you start the journey. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. I appreciate you as he was talking about introspection. I put down on my paper, who owns what? Are you in charge or someone else is in charge? If you don't have the knowledge, you're not in charge. The person with the knowledge controls everything. But knowledge and action is even the ultimate currency that you need. The currency of time you don't have control of, but you can manage your time by making sure you have, like my brother said, plan. If you don't have plan, the currency of time will just disappear in front of you. Whether you do anything or not, 100 years, it's going to come. That's the truth of the matter. It would be nice if we do something. Wisdom.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Dr. Ruth. This is amazing. I've just been smiling since morning. I joined today. A lot of wisdom here, a lot of thought has been shared. I just want to add to anyone who's been invited here today. You're not currently part of this community or you're not in a community, and you're hearing all these things, business as one of the swift pathway towards effective tax filing and all that, and you're confused on exactly how to begin. There is no wisdom in failing where others have succeeded. Every business is a business school. So when we talk about business like this, people see business as a complex subject. Business is simply anything you do that brings money to you. In your job as an accountant, you are in a business. The only problem is you have one client, which is your boss. That's why you get paid from only one person, twice a month. That same skill, accounting capacity that you have, there are accounting consulting firms that have 100 clients. The same skill, different outcomes. So if you have such skill, and then your problem is how to deploy in that capacity, find yourself in a community. If the community you belong to is not an accounting community, but they do a business, learn that business through the learning you get, because every business is a business school. Even your job is a business school. The only problem is you are hidden in one corner. So the only thing you learn are the daily tasks you do. But if you find yourself in a community of entrepreneurs like the one Dr. Ruth is part of, you will learn a lot of things. All those things you learn, you can deploy up in the next level of business that you want to do. All right. So don't get it twisted. Don't make this thing look complex. Find a community. Man was never designed to live life alone. Even God that is inside of you that you worship, for you to worship him effectively, you have to find other people who fellowship with him in the way you do, so that the fellowship will be more effective. That's why you have a church. That's why you have the mosque. That's why you have temples. So find yourself in a community. Lastly, people try to get God to bless what you're doing instead of do what God is already blessing. If you're in a community, a business environment community, be effective in that. If you're successful in one business, there's a high chance that you'll be successful in another business. So you see how you find yourself in a community of business, and then you're thinking of another business you're trying to do. You have mentors and coaches in one. You're struggling to be perfect, and then you're going into another one that you don't have any mentor, you don't have any coach. How are you going to do it? So be where you are, build capacity from there. Then you cannot deploy those skills, those marketing skills, those management skills, those leadership skills in anyone you're now going to, it's always going to be easy. All right. So let me don't take your mic, Dr. Ruth. I'm so inspired this morning. And I have learned a lot. And I'm so glad to be in your space, talking to a millionaire in dollars in America every single day. It's a blessing. Thank you very much for this community. I appreciate everyone.
Thank you, sir. Guys, you can see the English and the voice is different, right? Those are the people you call investment bankers. They speak in a very high level understanding that they say they are honored. We are honored too to have them around. Thank you, Mr. Wisdom. We don't take you for granted. I appreciate you. Prince Lionheart.
Yes, ma'am. I just wanted to add to what Doctor said earlier, and it goes as a caution and as a reminder for me, myself, and for everybody. Start small. Start small, even if it has to be a non-negotiable decision. Even if you're reading just 2 pages a day, make sure that going forward from now onwards, there should never be a day that you go without taking the book and reading something. Because as you start reading, you build a tolerance, you build a skill, and it's a skill that you have to learn. I've been listening to a lot of self-motivation videos, and I learned that from there. Start small, even if it's 2 pages a day, because the amount of time we spend on social media, if you look at it and compare it to the amount of time you're investing in yourself, you realize that you're pumping money, you're pumping your most valuable currency down the drain. And you need to be able to turn the tables around so that it will benefit you and your community and your family down the road. So please, everybody, start small. At least every day, it's non-negotiable. Read about a page or 2. Down the road, you can increase it. And as you increase it, it becomes a learned skill. And as it becomes a learned skill, a time will come you realize that you'll be blowing through 1 chapter every evening, or even blowing through about 5 chapters every evening. And then you realize that you become well informed, because there are other books on taxation also that are very good. So don't just restrict yourself to the books that are being recommended. Read those books, read them again. Then go hunting for other books. Broaden your scope of thinking, because I'll tell you this: every word you speak advertises your wisdom, your ignorance, and your intent. You have to show that you are educated before somebody takes advantage of you. Thank you.
Thank you so much. He says something, he says start small. I'm going to say start small, start now, start today. Start small, start now, start today. Please don't engage in procrastination. There's a definition of procrastination I love so much. You all know I love it. I can't remember who was the author. He said, procrastination is the assassination of your destination. Start small. Start today. Start now. If not, the time currency will never come back. It will not come back. You're going to lose it. Last speaker before we continue our reading, Mrs. Celia Bilom.
Thank you, Dr. Ruth. Thank you, everyone, for listening today. This book is a big eye-opener for me, and I have 2 CPAs that have worked for my business over the years, and I've tried to get them into this, to listen to this book we're reading, but they have refused to. I told them, you're about to get fired one of these days. But anyways, I'm going to add something to what Wisdom said that interested me. He said, everywhere you go, even your job is a business.
That's correct.
The only thing is that you have one client. Well, the worst part of that job, that business, is that one client might be the owner of the business. And that he's using you or she's using you to run her own business. So that's another thing we gotta be very careful about, that we think that we are in a business with our boss or our where we're working. No, you are working for that person. It's not yours. You gotta get yours. Gotta get your own business while you working for the other person too. That's just one I need to add down there.
All right. Thank you, Miss Cecilia. Ownership, positioning, mentorship. I hope people are picking up this. Ownership, positioning, mentorship, coaching. All right. These are the tools that you want to kind of explore the concept and see how it benefit you. But the number one on the list, ownership. What do you own? Who owns you, or what do you own? It's up to you. But all the things we've been reading, no, there is hope for middle class. And we will get there. Guys, we're not joking. We're going to get there. We're going to change our narrative. We're going to change our community. Like Wisdom said, which community do you belong to? Are you going to influence your community or not? For my church this year, they say you are here for such a time as this. And I took that and I'm running with it like crazy. There's a reason you're here. Are you going to be, so our voice now could be the Mordecai telling you, go raise up your community. Raise your community, put them in a pedal that will benefit them. So the day you disappear, we all are going to disappear one day. They will find something to remember. They say, if you came is here right now, man, we will not be having this problem. Don't just die and everything about you. And don't make the grave. Let's stop making the grave a rich place. They say the grave is the richest place on earth, where the songs are not being sung, where the business proposals are buried, where the faculties, the teachers, the life changes are buried because they never took a step. They were waiting for perfection to start. They were waiting for a big deal. Start small. Start today and start now. Go ahead, Yukemi.
All right. The reality was that we didn't talk much because we really didn't know what to talk about. It quickly became apparent that it was a lot easier to talk about starting a business than actually doing it. It was embarrassing to some degree. My wife and I were educated, at least college educated, and had some great work experience to boast about. But starting a business took a whole new set of tools. We now understood how important it was to have a practical guidance through the process, so we didn't waste our time and better yet didn't lose our shirt. With a mild sense of intrigue as well as a little hope, I was looking forward to the weekend to boost my spirits. My younger brother was coming over. He was in his late 20s, single and living large. As we married men in our 40s will say, he was dating and traveling a little and with no strings attached. However, what interested me the most now was having some time to talk about his small business ventures. Immediately after high school, he had started college, but he always had some sort of small business project going on the side. In fact, it wasn't long after starting college that he decided to become a chiropractor. I love to tease him and ask when he was going to become a real doctor. He didn't like my jokes, especially after I came to him for regular adjustment when I started having back problems a few years ago. He was a miracle worker with my overall health and that of others. His business was thriving because other patients felt the same way. I called them clients, and he hated that. Oh, well, that's what big brothers are for. Interestingly, not long ago, when he said he was buying a little rental property, I rolled my eyes and thought it was just another one of his impulsive schemes. However, after our recent meeting with the CPA, I had really changed my opinion of my brother, and at least to some degree felt that I had better understood his deep-seated desire to get out and live his entrepreneurial dreams. But again, the irony moved in like a set of storm clouds. As usual, Destiny seems to play its normal part in our lives. Instead of an exhilarating conversation about some business and feeding off his energy, something my wife and I were hoping for, we ended up discussing the struggles he was having with his latest project. Sales were down, costs were up, and of course, stress was at all-time high. He admitted to some mistakes this last go round. He thought this last economic boom will never end, or at least only taper off rather than crash. It was something a lot of people believed too. There were lessons to be learned, of course, but my wife and I probably shot each other 100 looks as we were talking with him, between the barbecue and watching a game of something on ESPN. Each look seemed to say, are we seriously going to consider this type of risk in our lives? To make matters even more precarious, he mentioned one of his rental properties was going into foreclosure. It had negative cash flow and was causing serious financial worries for him. However, it was interesting that he didn't mention his other two quality rental properties that were doing well. I had to pry that out of him as I searched for a glimmer of hope in his small business ventures. Nevertheless, it was like a shot across the bow of a ship. We had already turned ourselves in the direction of entrepreneurship, even if it was just a mental shift. We certainly hadn't taken any substantive action yet, but we were definitely interested, if not already emotionally committed. The one offshoot of our conversation that was very surprising was the discussion about our newly discovered CPA. My brother was fascinated about our experience and kept asking questions about what we had learned. I thought he had all of his tax stuff doubting. He was supposed to be taking advantage of all the small business tax write-offs and living the dream. However, come to find out he was longing for a relationship with a planning CPA as much as we were. He complained about his regular experience of having to bring the ideas to his CPA, rather than a CPA giving him strategies to implement. Apparently, small business skills and tax strategies just don't fall in your lap when you decide to become an entrepreneur. It was interesting to discover that many professionals in medicine, construction, and sales, just to name a few, consistently struggle trying to balance running their business and being skilled in their profession. My brother made me commit to keeping him posted on any further development with this new CPA. Anyway, I had expected a more motivating talk with my brother, and now was feeling more dubious about this whole entrepreneurial thing. With the seeds of hope before the weekend, we had called the new CPA and made an appointment to do some tax planning. I was now regretting we had made the call. I had a feeling we may have been too impetuous and were moving too quickly. Fear was setting in. As Sunday evening came to an end and the busy work week was upon us again, my wife found a quiet moment to ask me my thoughts. Of course, I shrugged and said I didn't know what to do. I really felt we were onto something. Savings on taxes, of course, the original priority, and it seemed we were actually onto something bigger than that. But then maybe we weren't. One might think that the obvious temptation was to jump in with both feet and better live the experience and experience the American dream, or at least enhance it. Regrettably, the immediate temptation was to stay the course and do nothing. And the temptation was strong. Both my wife and I really felt that something was trying to keep us from pursuing our dream of bettering ourselves. However, when I showed down and really pondered things, I felt that the right thing to do was to pursue this concept of entrepreneurship. My wife agreed. It was an incredible feeling to have this experience with her. We were both on the same page. It pulled us together. The bonding with my wife also reminded me of something my brother said earlier that weekend. He explained that although he hadn't yet found Mrs. Right, His entrepreneurial passion was a huge part of his identity and enhanced his relationships with his friends and the women he dated. It kept him positive, hopeful, and anxious to wake up and fight his battles each day. All of this feel-good talk aside, one of the hurdles that seemed to keep slapping me in the face was I didn't even know what kind of business I wanted to start. How could I be thinking about entrepreneurism and small business without an interest in any particular business or money-making concept? My wife
All right.
confided.
So you don't have an interest, don't even know where to start. Somebody approach you and say, why not try this? Especially the one that you don't need to spend a lot of money. Some people say, I'm not interested. How can you be interested in what you don't know? You're here struggling, paying more in taxes. Someone say, hey, we have a way out. But the way out is you have to start. Start small. Start today. Start now. And you say, I'm not interested. Oh, some people say, oh, I don't like to hear people talk about it. Why? My people, like Miss Cecilia Savioda said, start somewhere. You may not have an interest today. But remember that CPA gave them a lot of ideas, right? But yet, he's still saying, I'm not interested. I don't know which one to start. Because sometimes we allow ourselves to control us that we may not move forward. So again, for those of you that put 2 in the chat, make sure you go back to the person that sent you that Zoom link and said, let me give you an idea where to start. Start from financial services. You know why I recommend that? It's going to help you to learn the American and Canadian system. So that when you start out your big business, you already know the fundamentals. You already know some of the things you have to do so that people don't take advantages of you. So I'll always tell people, start from the financial services so you can learn the foundation of the country. There is a system. They have a financial system. And guess what? It's the only system that is not taught in the classroom. It's not taught in the classroom, no way. Start from there. And don't just start from there thinking you're coming to make money. Start from there because you want to know. Be anxious to know. Be willing to know. Be curious to know. Like Wisdom said, community of people. Why do our people have to come to United States? In case you're an immigrant, I'm an immigrant. Why should an immigrant come here and struggle? When we've been immigrants here for 50 years, 40 years, 30 years, 20 years, 10 years. Because what? We that came do not understand the system. And always we continue to put the system of slavery. Where you only have one client. Only one client. Which is what? Your boss. And your boss can wake up and mess around with you, not minding that you have a family to feed. Somebody just wake up and say, you know what, you're fired. Knowing that you have 4 children at home, you have a spouse, you have a mortgage to pay the next month, and they didn't care. And they wake up and fire you. Start something. Let's stop pushing the slavery part. It's been so long we push slavery part. Let's begin to push for ownership. Let's begin to push for us to learn business at the job, learning on the go. You don't need no certificate to learn at the go. Get the smallest one you can and keep going and keep learning. That is why, look, how many business professors are millionaires? How many? But they are teaching just the theory. No, enough of theory. It's time for us to do. And you learn as you go. You fail. Every failure, every encounter is a room for improvement. Don't be ashamed. Don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of failure. Failure. What does fail mean? First attempt in learning. And I've been preaching it. Fail enough to pass. What is pass? Progressive attempt with sustainable success. That's pass. fail enough to pass. Keep failing until you pass. Tell yourself, I must pass. But that's not what classroom is meant for. Classroom is just to get you through. You pass those exam theories that never existed in the free world, and they give you a certificate. Only for you to come here and meet the shockers of your life. That what they gave you certificate may not even exist. One of the things I used to do is to be in the space of hiring people, identifying talent. I see people, especially this career they call criminal justice that people read in school. I was so pissed off. We're just looking for 30 people. Over 1 million people are applying for the same job. And they are carrying PhD of this, PhD of this. And they are trying to apply for a job where they pay $10, $15. And I cannot pinch myself. Which world am I living? I said, what made you choose this career? Did I even know that it does not matter as a career? I didn't know better then. Now I know better. But even then, it shocked me that a PhD be looking for a job where they pay $16 per hour. After owing Uncle Sam over 100,000 in school loan. Dr. Wilson.
Thank you very much, Dr. Ruth. And I just wanted to agree with you about the financial services and the platform that we have. I was surprised. I'm in this country for less than 2 months.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can someone wake me up? Thank you. It's
Yes.
because of who we are here.
Yes.
Our goal is that you don't have to suffer what we suffer.
So, and I was surprised that you can do an exam within a few times. So I've already done my licensing exam. I passed. I've applied for my license. And I was surprised that you can be licensed after just doing an exam, multiple questions, multiple. And I'm a CPA from Kenya, where I come from, and I had to study for many years. I had to work to practice before I was licensed. And here you can be licensed. I say this is then the land of opportunity. How easy can it get? And so that's why I want to encourage people, because you don't know how long this will be. They might change the rules. Things don't always, stuck. So if you have time, just have it. Even the knowledge itself will serve you. So when I met somebody and they told me about it, I said I didn't even think about twice. I paid, I have studied, and now I'm just waiting for my license. And then I will be able to, because this is my passion. I want to tell people about financial. Let me put it this way. The system, it is by design that people are not financially literate. So that the system can take advantage of you. Because if people were financially literate, if they taught us these things in school, then nobody would be taking advantage of anybody. So educate yourself, learn as much as you can, teach it to your children and your grandchildren, and we owe it to ourselves. And Dr. Ruth, I want to say this. The word of God has a lot of these things. It's only that we don't even read it. It says a borrower is a slave to the lender. It's very plain. So I want to encourage people, study books. I'm an author myself. I've written a book on planning for lifestyle in retirement. So I know what it takes to write a book. Please read the Bible, read books, talk to people, network. And I really want to thank you, Dr. Ruth, for putting together this. This is very wonderful. And we are learning a lot. And these things are universal. Financial literacy is universal. It's not only in the developed world, even in developing countries, whatever. So thank you very much for this. I'll just encourage people, take that exam, just read for that insurance, life insurance, or, I actually did insurance and health. I did both. I didn't even know. So I just said, okay, have it. So thank you very much. And I really appreciate this. And I encourage people to just sign up and do it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Guys, this is the beauty and the story of the journey we're in, is to make sure that financial literacy is available to everyone. If everybody that stepped their foot into the United States that is an immigrant, and they live by your neighborhood and they struggle, it means that you failed. Now, Dr. Wilson, someone have delivered you. It's time for you to take that microphone to say, my brother, my sister, you don't have to. Hold on. You don't have to start from square one anymore. You don't have to go and change your career. You don't have to become a doctor and nurse to function in this country. You just need to learn their system. And their system is embedded in a certain content that doesn't take you the whole year. It doesn't take you 150,000 that own school loan, but it take you less than a minute. But it only requires mindset shift. How many of us can leave here to go get Dr. Wilson 20? Do you know what this author said? I've forgotten his name. He said in the next 24 hours as we speak, more than 10 consumers will arrive United States. Can we change them from consumers to owners? We can. They can come to book club. Book club is open to everybody. We're not representing anybody. But what if they can change their mindset and look for a solution? Instead of a doctor, a physician, being a physician in Kenya will come back to come and be a CNA in America. Do we say CNA is bad? No. But why should that happen in your neighborhood? Why? Because we don't understand the system. Let's work on the system. If we do work on the system will work for us. So I'm excited for Dr. Wilson. I'm excited to each and every one of you who are new in this system and begin to learn the system. One day, the next 5-10 years, see this movement of financial literacy. April is financial literacy month. What are you doing? What sacrifice are you making for yourself and your community? Remember what my brother said, start small. And I added, start today, start now. Start from financial services. Start from learning the financial system. That's my recommendation. Quote me anywhere. Say, Dr. Ruth said, I should start, if I'm new United States and Canada, I should start from learning the financial system. Say it with microphone. Somebody said, will everybody engage in financial services? Yes, they have to, because everybody makes dollar. As long as you're going to make dollar, you must learn how the dollar works. Because it's only the person that knows the rule wins the game. It's that simple. You cannot win in a game, you don't know how the rules are. You will never. Okay? So, you came in.
All right. My wife confided in me that she felt the same way. We both started to fall into a state of apathy. We couldn't seem to get our engine started, for lack of a better analogy. And frankly, we didn't know how. The fear of the unknown was paralyzing. We just operated on autopilot the next few days and almost gave into the temptation to quit before we even got started. Several times we talked about calling and canceling the appointment with the CPA. It was a precarious time. The vision. This frustration of trying to find my calling, or simply that perfect small business, was mounting. I knew I needed to get started doing something, but what that something was seemed very elusive. Then an interesting thing happened. I was driving home from work on a day when everything seemed a little burdensome. Not a bad day, just a hard day. The type of work day you hope to have only once a week. The type of day your employer wishes you had 5 days a week. The extremely productive days, I suppose. As I turned a familiar corner on my commute home, I saw a little house with a for sale sign in front of it. I had driven down this road hundreds of times before and had never really noticed the house, but it just jumped out at me this time. I was attracted to it almost magnetically. I didn't know why. The only time I've looked for these signs before was when we bought our home a few years back, but I couldn't take my eyes off a house as I drove by. I found myself unconsciously making a U-turn and pulling up across. I found myself unconsciously making a U-turn and pulling up across the street to check it out. It was a nice little house, but something I will never buy to live in. It just wasn't my style. But I could hear the words from the new CPA echoing in my mind. Have you ever considered a rental property? Maybe this could really work. Could I actually be looking at my own rental? I walked up to the house. The flyer in the little box on the sign started out, a great starter home or rental property. I just looked up, staring at nothing but the sky, and realized that the local community college was just 2 blocks away. My mind was spinning. The adrenaline was flowing. Is this what the American dreams feel like? Or is this what a client of Bernie Madoff felt like before he wrote a check? I was confused. I needed to clear my mind. I drove the rest of the way home with the windows down. As I walked slowly up to the front steps of our house, I experienced another unexpected event. My wife met me at the door with a magazine article and started talking quickly about taking a visible pause to breathe. I didn't know if I should cut her off or just let her keep going. Like a smart husband married for more than 3 years, I shut up and let her keep talking.
Marriage counseling.
My wife has always been a driven woman. When we met in college, she had career plans, and graduating from college was just one of the stepping stones to get what she wanted. When she started her first corporate job, she was amazing. They loved her, and she, of course, moved quickly up the ladder in her department. But then it happened, the unexpected, yet expected bundle of joy. We knew we wanted children, and that part was expected, but she didn't anticipate motherhood being so satisfying. It clearly competed with her career ambitions. She thought she could easily go back to work and do the daycare thing in perpetuity. She was wrong. Now we have 3 kids. She's been a phenomenal mom, but she also wanted to keep her skills useful. Frankly, we could also use the money. So currently, she has a part-time job with a company where her training and education is an asset. And remarkably, she has found a good balance between the 2 responsibilities. But she also had an interesting experience the same day. I ran across the rental. She was at work and her supervisor asked her to send a gift basket to one of their important clients. Something unique, not too expensive, but definitely tasteful. At least these were the bits and pieces I was gathering from her frantic dialogue as she was talking faster than Nancy Grace on a tirade. Apparently, she couldn't find an acceptable gift basket for the client. Then she made her point. I could totally start a business creating gift baskets tailored to the types of clients we have at work. She was then silent, and the thought hung out there as if I could touch it. Start a gift basket business. Are you serious? I thought we were going to talk about this. Of course, she immediately retorted. We did talk about it at the new CPA's office. Every husband knows what just happened. I started to have visions of wearing an apron or chef hat with the logo of the
Business.
prominently printed on the front. Of course, these marketing pieces will be displayed openly for all of my friends to see and mock me. Excuse me. My fear of small business immediately shifted to the fear of this business. No offense to gift basket makers. It's just not what I had in mind as my next career. I went through my normal conservative and cautious arguments with her. I pointed out the time this venture of hers will take from her other responsibilities and also the capital it might take to get it off the ground. She had an answer for every one of my concerns. After a fairly engagement debate, as we tried to make some food for the kids, I decided I would throw out my little bombshell too. With a smirk on my face, I said tentatively, I also have something I want to bring into the mix. I saw this little house on my drive home, and rather than say the word rental, I handed her the description of this property while I made my pitch. Well, needless to say, I think the words calling the kettle black. Are you serious? And this is a lot more than a few gift baskets were floated through the kitchen. It was an interesting evening as we watched a little television, talked between our normal chores and duties with homework. Doing feed grade math that night didn't help me feel any confident either. The upcoming meeting with the CPA started to seem more like a necessity than one of a curiosity or passing interest. We needed a referee, a mediator, coach, teacher, and all in one. I was skeptical.
All right. My people.
Dr. Ruth, I'm
Yes, ma'am.
sorry, I have to sign off. If you could pick another one.
Yes. No, we're done anyway.
Okay.
Okay. So I want to thank each and every one of you for coming to reading today. We're going to start from eliminating fear. Okay. We're going to start from eliminating fear the next time we meet. Okay. And for those of you that came late because of the Zoom, please keep this Zoom that I just gave you. Keep it, hold it tight. It's not going to change. Okay. Our next reading is going to be May 2nd. Keep reading, keep applying. Okay. And let's do so much for our community. All I can preach for you is take ownership, position yourself, get mentors, get the coaching, start learning financial system. I didn't say start making money. I said what? Start learning financial system. If you learn the financial system and operate the financial system, so many ideas of what to do will come through your mind. And you'll have the confidence to do them because you know how the system works. Okay? Don't get your ideas for your knowledge from social media of 2 minutes video. Don't do that. Sit down to study. Visit smallbusinessadministration.gov. Any topic of business you want to read, go there, search for it, read it a little bit. Then you can dig deep. Okay? You can sign up with Kaplan Financial. I'm not promoting anybody, those are the ones I know. Sign up with Parkland Financial and sign up with their continuing education and read. Everything, they are some of they are one of those approved vendors with the government. All right. There are other ones. Excel. There are too many of them. Find them. Read something so you can be informed when you're engaging in conversation. Please don't be boring over your money. Don't say I don't have time. Oh, my CPA is in charge. My accountant is in charge. That is crap. You're supposed to know and hire them to work for you, not you working for them. You don't work for nobody. Okay? You already work so tired of having this one master called boss. Now, the little $1 they pay you, you're allowing someone else to make decision over it because you don't know how the system works. So invest in it. Don't sleep away. Some people are supposed to be on this call this morning. They are sleeping because they want to sleep. You say, on Saturdays, I sleep in a little bit. Guess what? The same way you sleep in a little bit is the same way poverty struck. A little sleep, a little slumber. What does it happen? Poverty.
Somebody's report.
So do you all know, for most of you who are Christian, there is no better book than the Bible. But the only thing that we choose the ones that will keep us up and choose the one that will keep us down. Like where my brother quote, he said, train up a child in a way he will grow. When that child grow, he will not depart from me. The second verse is the one that said what? Teach them how to be lenders, not borrowers. Are we teaching them that? We only read that verse. Train up a child how to be ladylike. He don't talk too much. You do this one. The man say yes here. The woman say this here. But you didn't read the second verse after that. So our goal is to do what? Build lenders, not borrowers. Because a borrower remains a slave to a lender. But how can you lend what you don't have? What you own, you're going to lend. You can lend what you don't have. And that's why I've decided to be a lender for the rest of my life. God keep me alive. I'll remain a lender for the rest of my life. If you have ever gone through the interview of becoming a lender, of becoming a borrower from a lender, I went through it when I was new into the space of learning how the system works. If you see how they were interviewing me because I just want to borrow 100,000, oh my goodness. I just want to borrow 100,000. If you see the interview, if you see, have you ever done this? I also paid 9,000 to even get that interview. I paid 9,000. Anyway, I paid for my ignorance. Paid $9,000 to finally get an interview with them. Just to borrow me 125,000 to renovate a place, blah, blah, blah. I don't have it. They set up interview. They're asking me, have you ever done business before? How do you do it? As if I'm in Shark Tank. Okay? At the end of the day, you know what they say? They can't give me the money because the house I want to renovate, nobody has ever bought a house in that area. That was their reason. My 9,000 go, my time wasted. But guess what? I learned a lesson.
Which books are you recommending? This is my first time.
This is your first time, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank
Right now,
you.
we just started this book. We just started. There's so many books you can read. A lot. The only thing we're trying to focus on the financial books. There's so many books. Okay? So ask that question to the person that invited you here, that gave you their Zoom link. And if they can't answer you, you can ask me offline. I don't like to recommend stuff for people so much because I want them to be inquisitive, to engage and do their own due diligence. But if you're in my community, what we're here is a social club. Book club is social club. We don't represent any organization, any company. But I have a community I belong to. If you're in that community, there's so many books recommended for people to read. So you can reach out to me. If you're here, you can reach out to me on 469 487 3469. Once again, 469
Hold on.
469 487 3469. All right. If you reach out to me personally, I can make recommendation based on the community I belong. But here, we read books. And of course, each and every one of us came from somewhere. Nobody landed here from the blue. Somebody gave you this Zoom link. Go there. But if they don't answer you or they don't know what we're talking about, reach out to me. I will definitely help you start it somewhere. But otherwise, I want to say thank you so much. Remember what the book said. Start a small business. Don't lean just on that. Don't work for that man alone. Are you working for the man? Are you working for yourself?
Dr. Ruth, could you please repeat the number again? I'm sorry, this is my first time. I need to get the number and speak with you offline.
469. Can someone put it in the chat? 487 3469. Okay. You all follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Follow me on YouTube. Follow me on TikTok. Guys, I am not a technology person, so take me the way it is. Okay. Let me see. I don't know why it's trying to ask me to log into my account. Give me a second. Okay. So I was trying to share my Facebook page on the chat. So that's the only one I know how to operate. The other ones, I will share it to anyone. Follow me on book on Facebook. Can someone put in the link? I put in the link for my Facebook page. Can someone put in the link for Group Me? Group Me is our private place where we share information. Okay, where we share information and do other things. But I know I have a presence on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok, Instagram, and all that. Follow me, make comment. April is financial literacy month. Gather your people. I'll be happy to speak to them. Guys, see my mouth. Mordecai. My pastor today, this year is my Mordecai. He said, Dr. Ruth, you cannot keep silent. Because if I keep silent, they will bring someone from another place to save my community. But there's a reason I'm here for such a time as this. And I promise never to keep silent. So I started a movement of don't die for sick, don't be sick for free, and don't allow people to beg for money with your name. If you're in this call, you're hearing our voice all the time, and you fall sick or someone dies in your name, and you're the one starting that GoFundMe, trying to beg for money, you are a disappointment to our community. No, don't do that. Somebody say, can you start? Tell them no. There's a better way to do it. There's a legal way to beg for money. Don't do GoFundMe. Don't do committee of friends. And finally, I want to say this. If you're here, you have a life insurance policy. You have a life insurance policy, your own. Do not cancel it. No matter what anybody tells you, no matter what anybody preaches, whether it comes from your best trusted friend, do not cancel your policy. Rather say, I want to read the law myself. Get license. Know the laws that govern the policy you have. There is no better company, there's no worse company. They are all governed by the same law. You need your protection portfolio. Don't cancel. Don't allow your children to cancel their policies. Anyone that walked into your house, you can get more policies, guys. You can get more. Paul Atkins has 54. Why messing with the only one you have? You don't have two, you don't have three, you don't have four. Why are you canceling the, oh, I have 10 policy? Don't cancel it, leave it there. Until you get the right type of policy according to your own goals and your own objectives. And if you're here, do not go to someone home and ask them to cancel their policies. You don't know what happened the next minute. Don't go and listen to social media. 2 minutes video. You cancel a policy that took you 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 2 months to get. You do all your labs and they finally approve you and you cancel the policy. When those who don't have is looking for it. The money you're paying that policy will never be enough for you if because of your problems. Imagine if something struck and now policy you don't have, money you don't have, and your situation become worse. You're going to be a member of the GoFundMe committee very soon, or committee of friends on WhatsApp. We can never be behind anymore. We're going to come openly to let you know there are only 2 environments in America and Canada, investment and protection, and you need both. It's not protection or investment. You need both of them. You need your protection first, and you need your investment to go and accumulate money and protect it in your protection so you don't pay tax twice. You have the right to use the most tax efficient method to grow your money. Choose your bucket and choose it right. Mindsetter.
Yes, ma'am. Hi, Dr. Ruth.
How are you?
I am so sorry I came in very late today. I was rushing so hard to see if I can meet up, but
No
I
problem.
couldn't. So I was just trying to find out when is our next reading date?
May 2nd.
May 2nd. Okay.
Yeah. Today was supposed to be next week, so we brought
Yes,
it
ma'am.
forward.
Yeah.
So
Okay,
May 2nd, the same Zoom link. I apologize for everything that happened today. Reverend Princess.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Reverend Princess.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, Dr. Ruth. Actually, I joined very late. This is my first time. I was invited by Mrs. Blessed Osili, and this is not the first time she has been inviting me. She has been on me for 1 year, and I don't know why I've never had any interest or show any interest. And this morning again, she sent me a message. Already you are in the middle of it. Please join, please join. And I was sleepy because I didn't sleep till about 2 a.m. And when I joined, I said, okay, I'll just lay down in bed and be listening. But something got me awoke. I just woke up, my eyes got open when it got to the point one of, I don't know if it's Mr. Wisdom, yeah, spoke something, and another doctor said something, start small, start today. You keep repeating that. And I said, I better keep my eyes open. I need to listen to these people, these learned minded people, and I need to learn something. So one question that I want to ask, and I'm very sure I'm not going to miss out from this anymore. My question is this. Sometime last year, I got a business registered, LLC, and I have not done anything. I just left it there. So am I supposed to file a tax?
Okay, good question. Good question. I'll definitely refer you back to your CPA and accountant and financial tax preparer. But if you file a corporation, this one according to SBA.gov, if you file a corporation is an entity, you must file a tax.
Wow.
If you're not filing tax, whether you make money or not, you're violating the law. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
So go back to your tax person, okay, your CPA. But the law says you got to file it. You are the one that went and registered that business. They don't care whether you make money or not, but you must follow the rules.
Okay.
Okay. And in some states, I know you can file even negative up to 5 years, depending on your state. But you must file. They didn't say you must make money, but they say what? You must file. If you don't file, you're going to pay penalties when the time comes.
Oh, Lord.
Okay, yes, ma'am. Okay. You know, everybody goes in there and go to SOS state and put in their business and register. What comes with it is an entity. You must respect the laws that come with the entity. Okay. So
Thank you so much.
IROS could be your point of contact too, to read small business, what to do, when to file, and stuff like that. Okay.
I appreciate. Thank you
You're
so much,
welcome.
doctor.
All right. Is that Hangman?
Yes, come on.
Okay. Go ahead, sir.
That's come on. Sorry, I was in, but I stepped out for a little bit. I just wanted to know which chapter are you guys ended reading,
Okay.
because
We
I
ended.
stepped out. I was in.
We,
I'm in Africa right now. I'm in West Africa right now, Gambia.
oh wow, that is nice. You're
Mhm.
enjoying the beautiful natural stuff.
Yeah, right now I'm
Okay.
eating fried rice right now.
All right. So we ended at page 27. We're going to start from eliminating
27.
fear. Yes.
Okay. Thank you
Eliminating
so
fear.
much. Thank
Okay.
you so much, Dr. Ruth. You're doing a great job.
Thank you.
Keep it. Keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it. Keep at it. Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you. BCX. BCX. Can you unmute? All right. Okay. Go ahead, BC.
Good morning, Dr. Ruth.
Good morning.
How you doing?
I'm
Sorry, I
good.
joined the class late. I don't know if I can pull you back to the book we're studying. And this is a high time I take this seriously. I know you've invited me.
Oh, I now know the voice. I know the voice. Okay. Hello, Mama. How are you?
I'm fine. How's the family?
I'm good. So we are reading what your CPA isn't telling you.
Okay.
Okay. That's what
All
we're
right.
reading. And for most of you that came late, this was also live. We have it live on YouTube. I just shared the YouTube link on the chat, so you can go back and read it. All right.
All
Miss
right.
Leslie.
God bless you.
Miss
Thank,
Leslie.
thank you always, Dr. Ruth. Thank you for your investment in us. What I want to just quickly say is, for those, because I know you just said something about filing tax because it's an entity. That is not supposed to be a discouragement from people from starting their new businesses, because that's why we are studying. And once you have this knowledge, you'll be able to know exactly how to file that tax and maximize, your return. Thank you, Dr. Ruth.
Thank you so much. Okay. So we're going to end it today, but I'm going to end with this soft note. Start a small business. I recommend start learning the financial system. It doesn't matter who you are. The one thing that's universal with all of us is finance. Don't give
This is
transfer.
17 because it's
Do not
been
transfer. Who is that? Do not transfer your ownership of your money to somebody else. You are in charge. Take absolute control. Educate yourself. Educate your children. All of us on this call one day are going to retire. If you're going to achieve tax-free, cost-free, and stress-free retirement, guess what? You must learn how the financial system of United States and Canada works, or any other country that you find yourself. Don't put your eyes away and say, I'm good, I'm comfortable. If you're comfortable, can you also help your grandchildren, your great-grandchildren be comfortable? Guys, God have delivered me and every other person I know. Let's help deliver you by learning the financial system. It doesn't matter where your career is. If you don't have time, instead of buying that all one day, that cloth that you're only going to wear one time, that Louis Vuitton bag, that travel you don't have money, use credit card to go, don't do it. Invest in learning how your money system works. And if you learn and understand it, guess what? Now you have the capacity to teach someone else. Above all, you need your investment, you need your protection. Your protection only comes from life insurance. You, the one that protects you. You have one that protects your car insurance. You have one that protects your house, mortgage insurance. You have one that protects your phone. The only one you don't have, the one that protects you, that clock in to work and make money, or you that run that business. Knowing that the day you cannot manage it, guess what is out? Is everybody will eventually fall sick one day. And guess what? Those who have no plan will eventually suffer. What if we can fix it? Don't listen to anybody and tell you that your life insurance is a scam. Wait until when something happened to you. All those people you're listening to the opinion, they will know where to find to help you. Don't be a part of committee of friends begging for money, but be a part of committee of friends teaching people how to do me fund me instead of go fund me. Let's change our community. April is financial literacy month. Invite us, invite me. I will teach you, I will teach your children if they can listen. But unfortunately, the social media is so strong than our voices. That's why we too gonna go to that social media. Go to my Facebook, share my page. I can never finish talking every single day without telling people don't cancel your policy. How can someone cancel their policy today and tomorrow they are diagnosed with cancer? Now they are begging. Injury to one is injury to all. Now this is the time to make sure that we don't have that injury. There's a legal way to prevent it. Start today. You need both protection and investment. Your protection starts today. Don't allow anything to stop you. But if you do, I'm sorry, I've delivered myself. I'll be in my little own world, smiling the much I can. Maybe I can throw the $100 to you, but am I going to throw it the second time? No. What if I can teach you how to make sure you have a continuous source of $100 without exposing your dignity out there? Thank you all so much. See you on the next book club, May 2nd. For most of you who are in the same community with me, remember we have the role of physicians, providers in protection portfolio at 2 p.m. today. Those people that are hearing my voice, you know, if you have your own primary provider, your own PA, your own pharmacist, your own nurse practitioner, send them my way. They are the number one in protection portfolio. And we're going to have the best discussion today at 2 p.m. So reach out to me and we're going to make it happen. We can never keep silent. We'll keep talking. Thank you so much and have a nice day.
Dr. Ruth, what's the Zoom link for the program coming up at 2 p.m.?
Okay, that only for those who are in my community. So send me a text. If you send me a text, you'll get it. Bye-bye.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ruth.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. That was great.
Excellent.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Dr.
Thank you,
Ruth.
everyone.
Thank you, Dr.
Appreciate
Ruth.
you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you,
Thank you so
everyone.
much.
Thank you, Dr. Ruth.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
We need it from you, the young people, because remember this. You got to get out there. You got to give it everything you got, whether it's your time,
Thank you,
your talent, your prayers, or your treasures. What are you going to do with what you have? I'm not talking about how much you have. Some of you are business majors, some of you are theologians, nurses, sociologists. Some of you have money, some of you have patience, some of you have kindness, some of you have love, some of you have the gift of long suffering. Whatever it is, whatever your gift is, what are you going to do with what you have? All right, now here's my last point about failure. Sometimes it's the best way to figure out where you're going. Your life will never be a straight path. I began at Fordham University as a pre-med student. I took a course called cardiac morphogenesis. I couldn't read it, I couldn't say it, I sure couldn't pass it. So then I decided to go into pre-law, then journalism. And with no academic focus, my grades took off in their own direction. I was a 1.8 GPA. And the university very politely suggested that it might be better to take some time off. I was 20 years old. I was at my lowest point. And then one day, and I remember the exact day, March 27th, 1975, I was helping my mother in her beauty shop. My mother owned a beauty shop up in Mount Vernon. And there was this older woman who was considered one of the elders in the town. And I didn't know her personally, but I was looking in the mirror, and every time I looked at the mirror, I could see her behind me, and she was staring at me. She just kept looking at me. Every time I looked at her, she kept giving me these strange looks. So she finally took the dryer off her head and she said something I'll never forget. She said, "Young boy, I have a prophecy, a spiritual prophecy." She said, "You are going to travel the world and speak to millions of people." And in the years that followed, just as that woman prophesied, I have traveled the world and I have spoken to millions of people through my movies. Millions who up till this day couldn't see me, who up till this day I couldn't see while I was talking to them, and they couldn't see me, they could only see the movie. They couldn't see the real me. But I see you today, and I'm encouraged by what I see. And I'm strengthened by what I see. Because taking risk is not just about going for a job. It's also about knowing what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to people and to ideas. The chances you take, the people you meet, the people you love, the faith that you have, that's what's going to define you. Never be discouraged. Never hold back. Give everything you got. And when you fall throughout life, remember this: fall forward.